You don't notice it the first time someone talks about you behind your back. In fact, you probably dismiss it. Maybe a friend casually mentions that someone has been making jokes about you, questioning your success, or criticizing decisions that have nothing to do with them. It feels confusing more than painful. You assume that if you work hard, treat people well, and stay focused on your own goals, others will naturally be happy for you. But life has a way of challenging that belief. As the years pass, you begin to realize that success does not only attract admiration, it also attracts gossip. And the people who gossip the most are often the ones who feel the weakest inside. This seems strange until you understand something about human psychology. People rarely gossip because they possess secret knowledge. More often, they gossip because they are trying to protect their self-image. Seeing someone else improve forces them to compare their own life with yours. That comparison can be uncomfortable. It reminds them of the dreams they abandoned, the risks they never took, and the discipline they never developed. Rather than confronting those feelings honestly, the mind searches for an easier escape. If your success can be explained away as luck, favoritism, or dishonesty, then they no longer have to question their own choices. Think about how quickly opinions change when someone begins succeeding. The same person who was ignored for years suddenly becomes arrogant after gaining confidence. Someone who finally starts taking care of their health is accused of showing off. A quiet entrepreneur who spends years building a business is called lucky the moment people notice the results. Very few people witness the lonely mornings, the repeated failures, or the sacrifices hidden behind every achievement. They only see the finish line, never the journey that made it possible. Psychologists describe this as social comparison. By itself, comparison is neither good nor bad. It can inspire you to learn from people who are ahead of you. But when comparison is mixed with insecurity, it becomes destructive. Instead of asking, "What can I learn from this person?" the question quietly changes into, "How can I make this person seem less impressive?" That is where gossip begins. It becomes a shortcut for protecting pride without requiring any real growth. Another pattern slowly becomes impossible to ignore. The busiest people rarely spend their afternoons discussing someone else's life. They're too occupied improving their own. They have projects to finish, families to care for, books to read, businesses to build, and goals to pursue. Gossip requires free mental space, and people with purpose usually have very little of it. Those who constantly criticize others often mistake observation for achievement. Talking about success begins to replace the effort required to create it. This is why gossip often disguises itself as concern. Someone says, "I'm only worried about them," while quietly spreading rumors. Another person insists they are just being honest, even though their words solve nothing and help no one. Real honesty seeks understanding. Gossip seeks an audience. One is motivated by care, the other is motivated by the desire to feel temporarily superior. The difference is subtle, but once you notice it, you begin hearing conversations very differently. The most interesting part is how strong people respond. They do not waste every day defending themselves against every rumor or trying to convince everyone to like them. They understand that reputation is built through consistency, not arguments. Every hour spent fighting gossip is an hour stolen from meaningful work. So instead, they continue learning, improving, and showing up. Over time, results become louder than opinions. People eventually forget the rumors, but they remember the accomplishments. There's another reason weak people gossip. Responsibility is difficult. It requires admitting mistakes, accepting uncomfortable truths, and changing habits that no longer serve you. Gossip offers a temporary escape from that responsibility. Every conversation about someone else's flaws distracts from examining your own. It feels satisfying for a moment because it creates the illusion of superiority. But when the conversation ends, nothing is changed. The same fears remain, the same excuses remain. Only time has been lost. Eventually, one final realization becomes impossible to ignore. Gossip has never been a measure of your value. More often, it is a reflection of someone else's inner conflict. People who are secure do not need to shrink others to feel taller. They understand that another person's success does not reduce their own potential. Weak people spend their lives watching, judging, and talking about those who are moving forward. Strong people stay too busy building a meaningful life to keep looking over their shoulder. And in the end, the world rarely remembers the voices that echoed from the sidelines. It remembers the people who kept walking while everyone else was busy talking.